everybody and welcome. My name's Tatiana and I'm from Tatiana Creative Independent Stampin' Up Demonstrator. I run my business as Tatiana Creative Stampin' Up Adventure and I'm so thrilled to have you here. Welcome to my usual Wednesday 10 a.m. but I'm doing it a little bit late today at 11:30 a.m. Creativity time. It's my Wednesday live video on Facebook to just inspire a bit of creativity. Hey Fran, you know you're watching live because you'll see the red live right there. Otherwise you're watching the recording, but please still say hi. Let me know you're watching and I will reply. So let's add to the craft desk. And we're going to be using the Stamparatus once again because you know me, I do like my wreaths and I love my offset wreath. Grabbing a piece of cardstock, but I wanted to share a slightly different way of using. You can do this with any wreath template really. I will be using my offset wreath template and it's going to be more of a circular pattern that we're going to create in the background and then a wreath, but still fun. So I'm just grabbing my I like to secure my template down before I stamp, and I've got number 1 marked. It's always in the top left corner. If you don't feel comfortable, you can always draw a light pencil dot to remind yourself which corner you're rotating and so that you know where to place it. And we're going to start with this leaf. Now the center, the wreath goes around and I want to have that. Oh, this is bigger than I expected it to be. Oh. That's okay. Still working with it. I am not quite adding that to the center. And I should put the plate down. So I'm going to add my cardstock, and I've got the measurement for the cardstock up here. And my free download also has a letter version, which again shares with you the size. And I'll be using Pretty Peacock as my first color. So just inking, and because I don't want to get ink onto my template, even though it's all laminated, just less cleaning to do that. So you don't have to. I do tip. My tip is to laminate your template so that you don't have to. But the problem with the laminate is that it does slide. The magnet does slide a little bit. I've got finger marks on my cardstock, but that's okay. Doesn't matter because we're going to put a centimetre circle over that area anyway, so it's going to be covered up. 3 and 4. So you've seen me do this quite a few times now. You should be well familiar with the process. Five. Snapped down nicely. And 7 will not need to be stamped. So there's my first rotation. I'm just going to grab the Simply Chamois and wipe clean the stamp. But in case you ever want to make multiple copies, I suggest flipping your plate so that you can then make the card again without having to realign the stamps. So that's a fun way of being able to, because the first one I like to just do it straight out without doing multiples, making sure I like the way it looks. Now we're going to grab one of these smaller, I'm going to grab the other one. So there's two of these and they kind of curve in slightly opposite ways, and I want to grab the one that matches curvature wise to the stamp that we just used so that it will sit quite nicely. So I'm adding it here so that I know it's there, and now I'm going to be using Bermuda Bay ink. Stamp that there. I'm going to rotate this one clockwise. Normally I rotate mine anti-clockwise, but once clockwise because of the way I positioned the stamp. It's, so this is what I mean by cleaning. Didn't want to have to do that every stamping. After every stamp. 1 and 2. You know, one of these itty bitty papers would be perfect from that. So remember, these nominate someone that you would like to receive this card in the mail, and I will mention your name to them when I write in the card. So I normally just write hello, person's name. This person nominated you to receive this card because they're thinking of you. And then I sign it off from the both of us. It's always fun, and I've been getting lovely messages saying that my friend got the card and loved it. So yeah, it's been a fun share sunshine project. Beautiful. And we can add a little bit more greenery. So basically I'm creating a circular pattern of greenery around. I'm going to grab my second plate because the Stamparatus comes with 2 plates. Position that. Actually, I'm going to position this here because mainly where I want it done is up here. And I'm going to grab this stamp and it'll fit very nicely right there. Drop my, and I've grabbed Coastal Cabana. Really love these three colors together. There we go. Stamp. Don't think it'll fit. So this, when you're doing this method with the Stamparatus, it's just a bit of turn and see if the stamp will fit in, because there is very little rotations around so far out. That just ever so slightly grabs it. So I'm going to do that, because the further you are from the center, the less likely it's going to grab the edges. And with this one I will position it twice. And what I mean by that is that I'll clean this one off and place it once again just over here to fill that gap in. Now I could probably stamp that by hand, really, but this way I can 3, 2. Check it to see if it'll end up catching any other spots. Nope. Fabulous. That. Just give that a clean. And now we can create our circle, our sentiments. That to the side. So, let's see. What color cardstock do we want to use? Bermuda Bay, or I couldn't decide. This is Bermuda Bay. Or do we want to use Pretty Peacock? Thanks, Susan. Yes, it is fairly quick. Actually, I have made the decision for Bermuda Bay. It's a bit brighter, and because the bigger leaves are in Pretty Peacock, you don't want to overwhelm. Well, I like it to keep it bright. So I'm just going to, I like to score first, because that way I can score across the whole piece of cardstock and then cut and have 2 scored card fronts or card bases ready to rumble. And the doolaki. Perfect. And if you don't need it lying around, stick it down. It was also quick, Susan, because the stamps are quite large as well. So that makes it. The smaller stamps you use for wreaths, I mean, it's a lot of fun using small stamps. Just removing that dot. Now for the circle. What I have done is I've got my circles all pre-die-cutted out. Die-cutted, that is such a word, out, so that I can decide what size. I think the big one I want to use. And that way I'm not wasting cardstock cutting and then redeciding. And so I'm using the biggest stitch circle. And if I can, I will layer it with the biggest scallop one. Circles. This has been, so you can probably pick up that this is one of my favorite go-to layouts, but we've created the background differently. Normally I stamp and add things on top. Now all I have to do is make sure I've picked the right 2. Yep. And we're going to cut the scalloped one from Bermuda Bay. Now I know that's hanging off the edge, but that's okay because we are going to place that off the edge. So I'll be cutting that off anyway. This is a great way of using those scraps that may not just quite fit, but doesn't matter. I'll be cutting it off anyway. And Whisper White. Whisper White stitch circle. And I'll go put that through my die cutting machine at the same time so that I'm only running it through twice. So you don't have to keep your die cutting machine to one sheet of cardstock. As long as it all fits, you can run it through. There we have it. And I also did, and I know it's not lined up, it's not the same size, but we will be cutting them off together once they're adhered. But before we cut that off together, to a friend that makes me smile, that would be a lovely sentiment to put right here. And I'll stamp that in the Bermuda Bay as well. Or should we go with, you know what, Pretty Peacock? Reintroduce a bit more Pretty Peacock. Beautiful. Very quiet today, not much chit chatter. Hey Elfie, I didn't see you there. Hope you're well. How long till you can order? And let's adhere these two together. This is where the liquid glue really comes in handy, because I can really move that around. And now I can take the mini trimmer, which isn't available anymore, but I still love using it. And let's double check, how much do I want to trim off? About there. So roughly marked, lining that up to the edge of adding that. And this will be a great moment to use some of the metallic gold trim. This is part of the same suite. It's the Forever Greenery trim combo pack. It comes with cream ribbon and this beautiful gold trim. And I'm going to do some three big loops. Snip. And should probably have added the tear and tape first. It's okay. The reason why I like to use the tear and tape is that I can place that down, and then I can now rearrange this to sit a bit more like I would like it, and I can still lift it and rearrange those loops, but it's still secure enough to be there. See, that might be too, I did the loops too big. I don't think I've ever done that before. So what we can do is find one of the ends, tighten up the loops a bit. So it's just a little bit of fiddling, but I feel like the tear and tape gives me that opportunity to fiddle and rearrange and have the confidence that it's going to stay, yet still give me that confidence it going where I would like it to. We can add another itty bitty loop up there. Yes, I like that. And that one will go up on dimensionals. So the dimensionals will also help hold the twine in place. There we go. That bling beautiful. And yes, it's loose, but it's not going to go anywhere. Oops, sorry. Now, no card is complete until we what? Decorate the inside and the envelope. So I need a Whisper White envelope and another piece of Whisper White, which I tend to have these pre-cut. And if we bring our Stamparatus back in, we will be able to, hopefully. See if I can do this without rearranging. I want that on the bottom. Nope, it's not facing. Aha, hold on. I'm going to bring it in this way. So I've anchored the plate to the top as opposed to the right hand side as I did for that, because I want to place this in the bottom right hand corner, but I couldn't do that properly with that sitting in the angle it was. But now I can move my cardstock to be where I would like it for that, and now I can stamp that in the exact spot I would like and still be able to create another one of these cards if I wish. Simple and sweet. I really like that sitting there on its own. And the same for the envelope. Let's see, where do I want it on the envelope? I've got to be careful measuring this one out. I think across the flap like that. Don't want to lean that with ink on it onto the envelope until I'm ready. Flip, flop, front and back. It's actually click clack front and back, isn't it? Anyway, I've just said flip flop. Give that a clean before I close that off and move it to the side. And just adhere that to the inside and we are done. So remember, please nominate someone you would like to receive this card in the mail. It's a beautiful friendship card just to let you know, your friend know that you are thinking of them. And I'll draw out that next Monday night during Fun Folds. So there we have it. New catalogue walkthrough. Beautiful greenery friendship card. Let me know if you'd like any catalogues, if you would like a catalogue, not any catalogue, if you'd like a copy of the catalogue. Feel free to request a catalogue. You can request Caddy, link in description. There's also a link for In Color Club. There's one spot left, so grab it before it's gone. And then you can place your orders. There is a new online store. You can access my online store through the same link, bit.ly shop with Tatiana, and that'll take you to the brand new store. If you have an online account in my store, you will need to log in again because the new store took your account over, but it didn't save your passwords because it's a new website. So it's basically, if you want your link, your login details to save, you're just going to have to put them in again once, and then you can save the password. Thank you so much for spending time with me going through this. I was very conscious that these things can take a long time, so I didn't want to go on and on and on. So I hope that wasn't too feeling of rushed. but I really appreciate the time you've spent with me. I hope I have inspired you to do something creative today, and I shall see you on Saturday, 2 p.m. for my monthly Scrapbook Saturday. I'm looking forward to that. So hopefully I'll see you Saturday or Monday night for the Fantastic Fun Folds. Bye for now.